Okay, so we're at my favorite orchid vendors here. They are specialized in mostly Cattleyas. As you can see in the back here, we have lots of Cattleya hybrids and species. And they are exhibiting all kinds of really awesome orchids. And they also have lots of dendrobiums in the back, as you can see. And of course, the Vanda orchids, as well as the Dendrobium Belenops that are absolutely gorgeous and stunning. We also have some Dendrobium ceilings here. As you can see, all the price tags, you just divided that by 30 and that would be your US equivalent. And we have some Cattleyas here and some small ceiling Cattleyas and Dendrobiums. Lots of lush growing Dendrobiums. And then we have some Brassavola nodosa here that's blooming. And some Epidendrum. Of course, we have some Fern as well. And we have absolutely gorgeous Cattleya that's in bloom at the moment. And they're located at 712 space here. They're absolutely gorgeous, aren't they? Lots and lots of blooming Cattleya. And just to give you a price comparison, let's look at this one, and the price tag is 800 NTD. So divided that by 30, it's about $25 for this huge Cattleya, blooming Cattleya. So it's a lot cheaper here compared to the price that we pay in the US. Absolutely beautiful. And we have some Vandas here for only 200 NTD, so that's equivalent of less than $7 US for a size of, this is my hand, so you can see it's quite established, probably a mature plant for $7 US for a Vanda. So that's a good price. I think you would agree with me. We have some Oncidiums here, and then we have some Dendrobium. Sorry, these are Oncidium seedlings for $100. So we're talking about, for each, it's less than around $1 or so. And then we have some Dendrobium Belenops in full bloom. It's awesome. we are at one of my favorite 409 vendors at the Jianguo Flower Market. Here we have gorgeous, gorgeous catasetum in bloom at the moment. And we also have blooming Dendrobium Belenopsis in the back. Gorgeous yellow, pure yellow catasetum in flower. Look at this, it's gorgeous. Of course, we have the ever so popular Brassavola nodosa in full bloom. And we have some dendrobiums here, and some Dendrobium hybrids, and the Dendrobium catadante. I believe this is the name of the hybrid. And then we have some Leucastes, and a Dendrobium. And we also have our lovely, lovely blooms. And we have some bulbophyllums in bloom. And some lovely cattleyas in bloom. Look at all these fuzzy lips. It's absolutely gorgeous, absolutely stunning. And we also have some Dendrobium Victoria Reginae in bloom. It's gorgeous. And it's only about 15 US for this whole king. Look at this, is the hand of my hand, so you can see the size is huge. This is easily a 4 feet plant. And then we have another Psychopsis, yellow Psychopsis in full bloom. Look at this, it's just absolutely breathtaking. The blooms are just gorgeous. Again, Brassavola nodosa. And we have some lovely, lovely nodosa hybrids. And then we also have another catasetum type orchid here. And then a Zycopetalum. And this lady is the owner of the stand. And she has some lovely green Pathiopetalum. And I believe this is the Spicerianum. And here we have some really, really cool Chinese orchid on sale, and it's only $50 per plant. And look, some of the plants are variegated, and these are only $50, so it's almost $2 US for this. And we've got lovely new growth on each of the plant here. They're not in spiked or anything, but it's only 50 NTD, so which is about less than $2. And then we have some plants that are in spike, and they're only $50 here, so it's about less than $2 US in spike. Phalaenopsis, no ID, but it tells you that it's big red flower, right? They're all in spike for less than $2 US. And there is one here that's at the back, so I believe these ones are going to be looking like this. And it's only less than $2 US, which is amazing. See, that one in the back here, also variegated leaf for less than $3 US. Amazing, amazing price. And here we also have another primary hybrid. I believe this is a Violacea Hybrid. And this is also a fragrant type. I think its name is Phalaenopsis Kenneth something. I'll put a link, or yeah, I will add the name at the bottom of this video. And it's only 200 US, so which is about less than $7, around $7 US. And I'm gonna get one plant for my brother for his apartment, which is where I'm staying in Taiwan at the moment. And then I'm also getting a plant here. I'm also picking a plant for this, and this is also a fragrant hybrid. And you can tell from the bud here, this is a primary cross, although the boss hasn't told me about the specific parentage. But the boss is now, joking about me speaking English. Anyway, I'll be back. So I purchased 2 of these units for my Dendrobium. I'm thinking using it for my Dendrobium Victoria Reginae. Anyone that has a tendency to grow pending down, I'm thinking using this as for my Dendrobium. And this is lots of Dendrobiums, and each one of them are 150 NTD at new Taiwanese dollar, so that's about 5 US equivalent. All very healthy Dendrobium Belenops here. And here are the 2 orchids that I ended up purchasing. They're both fragrant. This one is very fragrant as the wind blows, and this one, if you just look at the buds, I think it has one more bud to open, and just based on the shape of it, you can tell that this one has a species in it. This one has a very heavy species in its parentage. You can just tell. It's very red, but it's really fragrant. I can't quite tell from the flower shape and guess, its parentage, but it's a fragrant flower. You can't beat that for $7 US for a primary species. Primary hybrid. And the foliage is just absolutely healthy, plump, and thick. And this one is also a lovely orchid. The flowers are a little ugly right now because during the transport it got a little banged up and actually lost 3 flowers. But it's okay. Very lovely leaves and great root system. They both have great root system. Very healthy roots. Obviously, I cannot take these with me to the US, so I'm gonna leave them with my brother, but he seems to be doing okay with plants, so hopefully he won't kill these when I visit him next time. Alright, with that said, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you at the next video. Happy growing, everybody. Ciao! Now, this is a very different scene. On the left, this is an elementary school, which I attended decades ago, many years ago, my elementary school. But this video, or this segment, is really about some of the trees along this street. As we walk along, you're gonna see that there are orchids on the tree. And yes, they don't grow there naturally. People put them on there after they're out of bloom. But these orchids tend to respike again and again. And they do really well. Right now, they're just out of bloom. But as you can see, lots of stuff growing on the tree naturally. And because Taiwan is in a subtropical climate, sorry about the motorcycle that drove by, but like I said, Taiwan is a subtropical climate, so it's very easy for obviously tropical, subtropical plants to thrive. And we actually just had rain, as you can see that it's all wet, and they get moisture that way. Some of these, all of the plants on the trees actually. And here we also have another orchid on the plant that people put on trees so that they can grow in almost their natural way. Here we have another couple orchids, right? And you can see people kind of use the nest, right, to collect the roots and the media, but then they must have stapled it onto the trees or tie them onto the trees. But then along the tree's stalk or stem, you can see there's lots of, I think, orchid type plants growing, but I just don't know their name. And then you see lots of fern growing on trees in the back. Anyway, this is how some of the plants are being grown in nature, especially orchids. It's a very typical phenomenon that you see orchids being stapled onto trees so that they can grow on their own. And right now it's cooling down. It's fall. It's cooling down, and that's why most of these plants are not in bloom in nature. But I'm sure when spring comes, they will bloom.